Okay, we're here. I tried to record this video, it didn't go too well, so now we're gonna try it again. Hello everybody, my name is Shooter101. As you can see, we're on an F1 grid. It's a fake F1 grid, but it's an F1 grid nonetheless. I just think this race was kind of funny how it turned out. There were some pretty awesome moments. Um, I'm actually, for the first time, about to see it in this perspective. I have not watched the replay yet. I know there was some really funny shenanigans. The start's kind of rough, but you will see all of that. By the way, right now, recently, I've been all about improving my racing and driving, so if anyone has any tips, tricks, that'd be awesome. I am driving on a controller, so that's an issue. I don't have a steering wheel, so that makes life a little more difficult to drive smoothly and perfectly. Other than that, let's get into it, because I've been doing Dirt Rally and F1, and I figured that this was an interesting race, and I figured maybe people would want to see it, so let's go and give it a shot. 13 laps, sorry. One pit stop mandatory. That was what this race was. I started on the softs. My teammate, Sane, started on mediums, going on to hards. We had a little bit of an incident there. Lewis Hamilton going on the inside. Just kind of a really messy start for all of us. But then very quickly cleaned up. There we go. For anyone wondering, this is... Crap, I already forgot the track. Saudi Arabia. There we go. It's not Abu Dhabi. I got that one confused. No, it's Saudi Arabia. Obviously racing for the Ferrari. Now, Carlos Sainz got a really strong start this race, leading off by almost a full second. That communicating with online services is going to be really annoying. Smooth racing, smooth line. Trying to, so for the most part, this lap was actually me trying to get a gap on both Red Bull boys behind me. I mean, they already had a pretty good gap on Lewis Hamilton. I was quite shocked to see how far behind Lewis Hamilton got on this race, and how quickly that happened. Lando Norris and Fernando, I believe, just did a little bit of a maneuver, or it was Lando on Russell. There's a little bit of a weird group change there. Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher, 13, 14. So there's a lot of pairings. Like, a lot of the teammates are actually kind of with each other. It's actually not that many. 3 teams are with each other, and that's about it. Good position for any team to be in. Basically, my whole thought was for this race is, even though I knew I was a little bit faster than Carlos Sainz going around this track at times, the first couple of laps was really difficult, and then up here somewhere it started getting really distracting because of the Red Bull boys. But basically my whole thought process was first, second place, very good position for Ferrari to be in, and better than first and third, or first and fourth, or whatever, depending on how far cut back we get. And knowing that, of course, that Sainz is on the medium tires and not softs, while everyone behind him is on softs, really made the decision easier for me to just be like, I will stay in second. I do want to pass him at some point, but I will stay in second, do all the blocking I can. And we were actually gaining quite a bit of time from... Like, we were lengthening the gap a little bit there, now closing the gap. But yeah, here I kind of got lined up for a pass, but Carlos Sainz kind of blocked me from it. And this is where the race gets a little more interesting. That gap there. Lewis Hamilton up in 5th. 2 seconds behind. He has no DRS when that gets enabled, which is not yet. Beautiful racing on that part. Sergio Perez right behind his teammate, basically. Max Verstappen now on the inside of me, or actually on the outside of me. Got very close to that wall, probably a little too close for comfort, but I still managed to stay out in front. A lot of racing. Carlos Sainz now, again, taking off in front of the pack. Really driving that line hard. And yeah, now the madness ensues because Sergio Perez actually passes Max Verstappen, and then Max Verstappen passes him again. They stay pretty much side by side for a while here, with the constant passing each other. Max Verstappen again, Sergio Perez. Like, these two are having the time of their life. So I was really distracted at this point because these two were driving side by side, kept passing each other, and I was like, what the heck is going on back there? And it turns out that this is what was going on back there. They were staying neck and neck for quite a lot of the race. They eventually sort this out, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, they take up the whole track, so no one's going to pass them, but they're wasting so much time. Like, Lewis Hamilton's catching up. And I'm now 1.2 seconds ahead. I think. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm 1.3 seconds behind Carlos Sainz and almost a second ahead of Sergio Perez, who is now taking the lead of Max Verstappen. But I think they make an even another maneuver here where Max Verstappen overtakes. I believe they tried to, and they just keep going back and forth for a little bit. They are basically neck and neck, and again, slowing themselves down, now 1.3 seconds behind me, while I'm 1.4 behind Carlos. I really did try to, I wasn't able to pay attention, I'm not gonna lie. With the whole constant of the leaderboard just going back and forth with these two, was unable. Lewis Hamilton actually 2.2 seconds ahead of Lando. That's a big gap. We got Fernando Alonso passing. Is that going to succeed? Yeah, it sticks. Okay. Nice. Passing George Russell. Esteban might do the same thing. Nope. Not in that range, anyway. I think it's Sergio Perez trying to catch up to me, and he's actually succeeding, closing the gap slightly. They might actually widen the gap between Lewis Hamilton and them. We are flying around this track. At this point in time, I'm really just trying to catch my teammate. I do not care about the two behind me or the three behind me. Right now, it's all about catching up to Carlos Sainz, who is pretty far ahead. Well, actually, less far now, but he gets pretty far at one point. Fifth lap, I believe this is where the window opens. If it's not this time, it's next lap. Window opens for pit stop. Going on to medium tires for me. Hards for Sainz. If I remember correctly. Beautiful driving. I mean, it's an AI, so it'll follow the line, but just seriously. Down the grid now, 2 seconds behind him. Really having a rough time keeping up to my teammate. And I'm trying to also, the thing is here is I'm trying to not only catch up to my teammate, I'm trying to lose the two Red Bulls behind me. I'm trying to put as much distance between me and them as I can. Because I no longer have DRS. They do. Really just trying to drive this car to its absolute limit. It's a really smooth line. One thing I definitely need to work on is my apexes, and we're about to see that right here. Oh, maybe not. That was actually pretty smooth. Yeah, there's your pit stop. Followed slowly by Max Verstappen. Good pit stop, good pit stop. Carlos Sainz now 2.5 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez. It is pit time. So people are gaining positions, people are losing positions. Looks like Lando Norris is still up there. And it looks like everyone else pretty much pit. Now we have, obviously, myself and Max Verstappen coming out of the pits, which is great for us. Oof. Nice time. In 11th, came out in 11th, went in second. Very rough riding here. Trying to catch up to Sebastian Vettel. Yuki Tsunoda doing a pretty good job there. Obviously, we have the two Roy's. Yeah, the two Haas cars going up ahead. The grid is all screwed up, but that's what happens when you go into your pit stops. Lewis Hamilton is 1.8, almost 2 seconds behind Sergio Perez. Perez is 2.5 seconds behind Carlos Sainz, which I believe this is... No, this is not Sainz' pit lap. I mean, he is on medium, so he can go for quite a while before having to pit. Sergio Perez is going into the pits, however. Lewis Hamilton following behind Carlos Sainz, 4.5 seconds behind. And watch a pit stop while we're here. Beautiful. 0.1 seconds behind Vettel, but now just gone past. That's brilliant. Max Verstappen riding my tail right there. Now we have a fight. Oh. A little bit of contact there. And I came out on front. Okay. And now again, stuck in between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Cars absolutely flying through the track. Overtake enabled. I guess I was really trying to make up some time here. That or I was really trying to get Max Verstappen off my tail, but here we go. Getting really close to Sergio Perez. Nothing happened. Like the desperate attempt to pass him just because of where we are at in the race. 7 laps, over halfway done. Lewis Hamilton's now exactly 5 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. He's also on the medium tires, though. Okay, so he also went for the medium hard strategy. Pulling way ahead. Carlos Sainz just blasting off. Lewis Hamilton trying to make up for lost time. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I'm saying it as if it has been easy on him this whole race, but... Kevin Magnussen, 8 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. There's a really big gap up with the leaders here. Nicholas Latifi, 6 seconds. 6 seconds behind Max Verstappen. George Russell, 1.4 behind him. Really, the race is very much gone apart at this point. And Bottas is done for the day. DNF'd. Saints. Like, in no man's land right now. There are no cars to counter this. Nobody is here. Lewis Hamilton's also in no man's land right now, being 5 seconds behind, almost 6 seconds behind Carlos Sainz, and 9 seconds ahead of Kevin. Whew. Magnussen is doing good there. Now I'm only 1.7 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. Sergio Perez following 1.4 behind me. I closed this gap pretty damn quick. Medium tires, of course, straight to the end. It's a medium, soft medium race. And then passing there. Carlos Sainz just gets out of the pits. Behind Schumacher. And then I believe Schumacher gets past. No, he closes off that. That's fair enough. Behind Carlos Sainz on medium tires while he's on hards. Again, my thinking here was as long as we finish 1-2 or 2-3, because Magnussen, or Schumacher in this case, I knew hadn't pit yet. Like Carlos Sainz going around him. Me trying to go around him. This was really tight. I was not comfortable in any of these positions, so I backed off a little bit. Following very closely behind. uncomfortably close, one could say, to Mick, and Carlos Sainz speeding off again. I mean, he really was gone for a lot of the race. Like, no one saw him. He was in no man's land. Now he's in... People are going to be attacking him land. Especially Mick, who is right behind him. Again, trying to go on the inside. Now, basically, I believe if I remember correctly, my exact words were just, please pit, please pit, please pit. And then he pit. And then I was like, okay, good to go. It's like I could block off Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. And, there we go. Now the goal was basically just to defend, and if I needed to pass my teammate, pass my teammate. It was a very interesting race. I've been in worse. I've also been in more interesting races. This was a good race, regardless. The 4 leaders being 4 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Yikes. They are together, though. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell just by 5 seconds, and then Lando Norris shortly behind him. Interesting thing. I don't think there's any real battles going on at this point. Everyone's too spread out on the track. You would have to do some amazing racing to catch up in 3 laps to the 4 leaders, which, I mean, isn't impossible. It's just... Are these two fighting again? Is that what's going on here? No, not quite. They're still following each other. There you go with Lewis Hamilton in the bottom. There you go. Just came out of the corner. And then I believe this was a passing maneuver, but it didn't quite go that well because I got a little... Oh, no, I actually... never mind. I passed Carlos Sainz. And essentially the hope here was, from here on out, was make sure that my teammate is within 1 second of a gap behind me. Because I believe at a certain point here it becomes a little over a second, and then I very quickly realized he needs DRS, being on hard tires, while both Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen are on mediums. You know, and following our pace very, very well. I remembered thinking, I really need to slow it down at points, make sure he's within that 1 second so he has DRS, so he can at least keep up. Because otherwise, yeah, it would have been a 1-3 finish, and that's not ideal. Sergio Perez, 0.2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Yeah, this race was really interesting for me because I'm not used to finishing in first, and B, we're not exactly on easy difficulty AI either, so there is that. Well, that was a weird overtake attempt. It was a weird defense too. All of that was just weird. I may have seen weirder. That was a nice drive-through. We're all just sticking together. We're buddies. It's fine. Yeah. Second last lap. You know, at times I'm watching this replay, I'm like thinking, like, am I driving with the steering wheel? And then other times it's like, no, it's pretty evident that I'm driving with the controller. There's some jankiness and wobbliness that wouldn't be there otherwise, but, I mean, it would be the first couple of times driving on a steering wheel, but... Damn if that wasn't smooth. Yeah, this was the point when I started realizing that Carlos Sainz was not able to catch up with me or keep up with me. So I really needed to make sure that A, he was going to be good at defending and was always within DRS. So I did slow down quite a bit here just to make sure he had a little bit more time to be with me. And he stuck it. And now, of course, being on the last lap and then across the finish line. Not right now where this lap just started, but, you know, getting across the finish line here, especially knowing that I was just a little too far out of DRS range at times. Really had to start backing off the throttle and just letting my teammate catch up, which is exactly what I was doing here. Obviously still pushing the car as hard as it can, but like while simultaneously trying to be there for my teammate, make sure he has DRS. So that makes it just a little bit harder for him to be overtaken, especially with how close the two Red Bull drivers are at times. There we go. And it was a pretty good 1-2 finish. I've had worse races. I've had a lot of worse races, and yeah, my whole thinking was it really just needed to be Ferrari finish. And it worked really well. Like, it worked really, really well. And this is no longer part of the race. But yeah, it was a pretty good race. I enjoyed it. I had lots of fun with it. It was really stupid, especially the start of the race where it was just Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez. And I was just like, I was driving and I wasn't looking behind me, so I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was just like, what the fuck is going... Can they not make up their minds who's passing who here? And then eventually they did, and it was just great. But, like, holy crap. I have never seen that ever before, where it was just two teammates were just, you know, up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And it like, and the worst part is it wasn't beneficial to them. They were wasting so much time not in each other's slipstreams. They were just following each other along the track, and then of course that slows them down ultimately because neither of them is following the optimal racing line. You know, at points they're each following the optimal racing line, but they're not doing it 100% of the time. So it's just it was really weird. It was a really stupid situation, and then of course that allowed Lewis Hamilton to catch up a little bit. I enjoyed the race. It was a lot of fun. I just it turned out to be a little more stressful than I really had anticipated it to be when it started. But it was good. It was good. It was great. Whew. And I sorry, and I think it'll be great. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, that's the end of the video. Yeah, you guys saw the race. The race is over. So, no point in sticking around. Have a great day. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you all later. I'm also going to Switzerland, so if there's no upload of any kind of content, that's why. I'm not here. I'll be in Switzerland having a holiday, enjoying 4 weeks of a holiday. So no Twitch streams, no nothing. But if you guys want to watch me race live, or doing anything live, go to twitch.tv/CMDR Shooter 101, link in the description down below in case you don't know how to listen to me talk that fast. So link in the description for my Twitch down below. Might be moving to Kick, don't know yet. I'll be waiting on a response for that one. But with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye for now.